Hi, this is Neil, and I'm partnering with the great HPC Today to bring you the Surfactant Insights Podcast. First, some context setting. I consider biosurfactants to be one part of at least 4 major parts of the renewable surfactant space. This entire space consists of 1. Carbohydrate-based molecules like alkyl polyglucosides, glucamides, and other glycosides. 2. Other bio-based and carbon dioxide-enabled surfactants and intermediates. 3. Mass balance certified petroequivalents, and 4 biosurfactants, which I consider to be mainly things like sophorolipids, rhamnolipids, and manosyl erythritol lipids, or MELs, and others, all made by fermentation. It's on this last category, commonly referred to collectively as glycolipids, that we'll focus for the rest of the podcast. A recent 2026 study by Green D Market Analytics identifies 34 companies involved in the production and/or commercial marketing of glycolipid surfactants. This excludes distributors. I'll not name them all here, but some of the better-known names include Allied Carbon Solutions of Japan, Amphistar of Belgium, BioRenewa of the USA, Locus Fermentation Solutions of the USA, Hollyfirm of the UK, and, of course, Evonik, which is a German company with a plant in Slovakia. The same study estimates that nameplate glycolipid capacity is conservatively in the mid-tens of thousands of tons per year, still way below 1% of the global surfactant demand, but no longer trivial. Now, sophorolipids were the first glycolipid surfactants to gain real commercial presence in the market, and that presence occurred primarily in personal care applications. Soliance, now part of Givaudan, demonstrated industrial scale production and performance more than a decade ago. More recently, sophorolipids have migrated into household cleaning and broader home care markets. Rhamnolipids have moved from lab-scale fermentation of pathogenic Pseudomonas bacteria strains to highly engineered production-safe organisms and industrial plants, led by Evonik, which has now qualified rhamnolipids as primary surfactants in a range of cleaning products. Glycolipids benefit from broader regulatory and corporate pressure for surfactants with low toxicity, improved biodegradability, and, importantly, reduced reliance on petrochemical or palm-based feedstocks. Examples include Evonik's public positioning of rhamnolipids as fully bio-based, readily biodegradable surfactants produced from European-sourced sugars and oils. Unilever's decision to advertise rhamnolipid-based dishwashing liquids as plant-based technology, and the push from surfactant companies like Dow, Sasol and Stepan to build dedicated biosurfactant brands all show that large formulators see glycolipids as one way to diversify and expand their portfolios. Yes, but I hear you ask, are these products truly commercial at an industrial scale? Well, yes, they are. And the commercial leadership is still very much in the hands of Evonik. So let's talk about them in a little more detail. Evonik's manufacturing is located at Slovenska Ljubča in Slovakia. First product off the line was in January 2024. The company describes the capacity as double-digit kilotons per year. Slovak environmental filings for the Evonik site indicate a permitted total fermentation production of 50,000 tons per year across all products. Some third-party industry commentary has speculated about 30,000 tons per year for rhamnolipids, but that number is not confirmed by Evonik. Evonik supplies Revofirm RL100 for home care, Rayon's glycolipids for personal care, and Tego Wet Terra for coatings and inks. The same Green D market study that I mentioned earlier does some reverse engineering of the economics for the Evonik plant, and, well, they're not outrageous. Furthermore, Evonik and Unilever have a strategic partnership in rhamnolipids. Unilever's confirmed market introductions in 2019 and 2022. Some Sunlight dish detergent labels in Thailand and Vietnam have included a RhamnoClean icon quite prominently on the front of the bottle. It's quite unusual for a consumer product, especially a mass market one, to call out an ingredient, let alone a surfactant, on the label as part of the product marketing. Okay, but do the products work? Yes, there's data indicating more efficient cleaning and some additional performance benefits associated with antimicrobial action for glycolipids. And look, they're not drop-ins. Nothing is. They are pros and cons like any other surfactants. But yes, they work. So, will the products carve out a meaningful part of the market? The answer depends on cost and, of course, scale. At a conference in Kuala Lumpur last year, Hollyfirm estimated that in order to break into the bulk market, biosurfactant prices should probably be about 50% lower. This will have to be achieved via economies of scale, which Evonik is already pursuing, increases in fermentation productivity and TITA, and the use of low-cost waste streams rather than refined oils and sugars. It won't be easy. Frankly, some of the 34 glycolipid companies active today may not be this time next year or the year after. Others may well jump in and or consolidate their positions. I'm talking particularly about the larger, better financed companies, so let's see. There's no doubt that a lot of money and time is still being invested in this product area, and we're at the very earliest stages of meaningful commercial results. And finally, let me remind you that rhamnolipids were first reported in the academic literature in 1946 and sophorolipids in the early 60s. As I've said before, chemicals take time. Well, I hope you found this useful, and thanks again, as always, for listening.